Hello everybody, welcome to the Auto Center South. I'm your host, Jack. So, I want to talk about DJ Smith. Yes, we all know who DJ Smith is. He is the coach of the Ottawa Senators. And there's something I noticed. You notice we lost 4 straight games in a row. Which, by the way, I am blaming on him. And here's why. I'm just going to go over all the 4 games that we lost. They are all in the catch-up episode. If you want my real analysis on it, you can go to that video. But I just want to talk about the coaching mistakes that DJ Smith have been making, and why it's not getting us anywhere, and why it needs to be fixed. We're going to start with the Wild game. We lose 4-2. Third period, we're down by 1 goal. DJ Smith, well, first off, we're on a power play. And DJ Smith pulls Anton Forsberg, so we have an empty netter and a power play. I understand, don't get me wrong, 6 on 4, but if you're the coach, trust your power play unit. We have amazing players. Have they been playing as well as we thought they would at the beginning? No, but there's still time to make that up. But what I'm trying to say is, trust your power play unit, and if the penalty kill is successful for Minnesota, then you pull Anton Forsberg. But, as you see, my friends, with DJ Smith pulling Anton Forsberg, it gave Minnesota just as good of a chance of scoring as we did. We had a 5-on-4 advantage. We pulled Anton Forsberg, and then Minnesota just had to shoot it down the ice, like Nikita Zaitsev. 200-footer and whatever. And Minnesota's up by 2 goals, even with the power play. Unbelievable excuse by DJ Smith, and as you all know, it just gets worse on from here. Florida Panthers game. Guess how many shots the Ottawa Senators gave up in that game? Well, I shouldn't say in the game, because one of them was an empty net goal. Aside from that, do you know how many shots Anton Forsberg faced in that game? 57. 57 shots. In front of the defense core that we have, he gave up just 4 goals. 4 out of 57 shots. And some could argue, even though it was a loss, it could be one of Anton Forsberg's best games in his career. It really could. Even though we lost it, the defense core is just still a mess right now, even with Artem Zub on the IR. And that's where another point of mine comes in. November 1st, Ottawa Senators, Tampa Bay Lightning. We lose 4-3. Because Artem Zub is on the IR, it puts Brandstrom on the top pair with Tom Shabbat, who has been struggling a little bit. Jake Sanderson, Travis Hamonic, your second pair. That's always going to be one. And then Nick Holden is paired with Nikita Zaitsev. I just want that name to sink in for a second. Nikita Zaitsev. Which, as a matter of fact, it was a tied game, 3-3, with under 3 minutes to go. Guess who DJ Smith puts on the ice? Nikita Zaitsev. One of the worst defensemen, or I should say a defenseman with one of the worst contracts ever, on the ice with a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Under 3 to go. Kucherov scores the goal. Boom. Ottawa loses 4-3. And this guy's getting 20 minutes of ice time every single night. What is that about, DJ? If this is the so-called team we were looking for, where are they? Zaitsev can't be on the ice in the final few minutes of the game when the game is tied like that. We're holding Tampa Bay defensively. We're doing what we can. Listen, I would have just taken a point from that game. I really would have. Also, how many shots did Tampa Bay have? 34. 34 shots. And then also with our forward core, 15 shots against Andrei Vasilevsky. Unbelievable. What is going on right here? And then last night's game, Vegas. We lose 5-4. Guess who he starts? Anton Forsberg, who, by the way, faced 20 shots against them. He faced 20 shots against the Vegas Golden Knights, gave up 5 goals in that game. Let me fact check myself. Let me see. Anton Forsberg. No, 19 shots. 14 saves out of that. Still not the best look, but I can't entirely blame that on Anton Forsberg. Listen, I don't care how bad he played in that game, but we need to understand the fact that he's being overplayed by DJ Smith. I'm happy Cam Talbot was on the ice for the final half hour of the game, midway into the second period, and I'm happy he's starting tomorrow night. But overall, DJ Smith is costing us these games. And if it gets worse, he will cost us the season. It can only get worse for him if we keep playing like this. He knows he's on the hot seat. But if he wants to keep his job, then he's got to do what's right. And we need to win games. Like I said, putting Zaitsev on the ice with under 3 to go. What kind of coaching is that? You can't be making those mistakes. And I wouldn't even call them mistakes. They're just, they were buddies in Toronto under Mike Babcock. I understand Zaitsev, first year, he had a really, really good year. I'm not taking that away from him. He had a really good year in his first year. And then he gets that 7-year extension, which he has 2 years left on. And look where he goes, just downhill. DJ Smith gets hired, which was a good hire at the time. But now it's showing that he can't be the coach of this team anymore, because he's completely lost and clueless behind the bench. And he's saying, he's saying the right things, but as Sens fans, we want results. That's the thing. We want results from this team. And he's not giving us good results. He's not giving us the right results. The results that the fan base wants. So when I look at how DJ Smith is, he's completely lost. I don't know if he's lost the room, but it seems like Claude Giroux, in his availability video that I saw, he didn't look happy after that game. This team needs defensemen, but even if we can't go shopping for a defenseman, bring up Lassie Thompson, bring up JBD, one of those guys. Because I think both those guys are better than Nikita Zaitsev. And pair them with Nick Holden. Nick Holden, I honestly can't blame him that much. He had a game-tying goal. I don't know, he's kind of more of an offensive type guy, sort of. But out of all the people, especially in the Tampa Bay game, if there's a defenseman that you should not put out with 3 minutes left on the ice, or I would just say player in general, any skater, the last skater you put on the ice, if you're an Ottawa Senators fan, or the coach, the last person you put on the ice with a tied game under 3 to go against a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning, the last person to put on there is Nikita Zaitsev. You don't do that ever. And it backfired against us, and it cost us at least a point. Because I think that game could have definitely went to overtime. We had the momentum. We were looking good overall, except for all the amount of shots that we had, and we still had 3 goals. We looked pretty good so far. Until we put him on the ice, and then Kucherov has a goal. I mean, that was Shabbat's guy, but I hope all you Sens fans understand my point. I'm saying most of these losses, I would even say maybe the Buffalo, I'm not so sure about the Buffalo, but the Toronto game. The majority of these losses are definitely going on DJ Smith. And he needs to get his head out of his behind and win hockey games. Otherwise, he won't be the Senators coach next year. And some fans are already saying fire DJ, myself included. Some are saying, oh, give him some time. But it's just maddening to see this. He's just wasting so many opportunities for this team. And the fans want to see this team go to the playoffs. They have real potential to be a playoff team. So, it can't, and there's points where it's too late to start winning games. Because if not, blow it all up and tank. Because it's maddening as a Sens fan. It's maddening as a fan base. Because other Sens fans are realizing this and are saying, DJ Smith is the problem. You can't even blame Pierre Dorian, and I didn't even think it was Pierre Dorian's fault. I had a feeling he was actually a decent general manager, and this offseason, look what he's done. He's made all these moves. He cut DJ's work out for him. He had one job, and that was to coach a good hockey team. And he's not doing that right now. We're under 500 after 10 games. 4-6, where we had multiple opportunities to have at least a point in some of those games. Maybe it was the Minnesota game. Definitely should have been the Tampa game. And then whichever else. Maybe the Vegas game. Maybe I would have started Magnus Hellberg. He looked really good in that Dallas game. But these poor decisions made by DJ Smith are costing us this team, these games. And they need to stop. Well, let's see how it goes in the Flyers game tomorrow. And, I don't know, Zaitsev playing 20 ice, it's just maddening. You can't be doing that. If for anything, the most reliable defensemen on our team are Artem Zub, who's on the IR, and Jake Sanderson, who's a rookie. Is he going to make mistakes? Probably. But he's looked really good this year. I would probably say the same about Travis Hamonic. Travis Hamonic I haven't had a problem with. Figure it out, DJ. Or else the entire fan base will run you out of the city of Ottawa. I'm being super serious about that. It's a warning. It's a wake-up call for DJ. Anyways, that's all my thoughts I want to bring out about DJ Smith. Like I said, poor decisions that are costing us these games. Let's see how better or worse it can get in tomorrow night's match. See you later. Jack from the Auto Center's Outlook. Go Sens, go.